All right. What's good, everybody? This, once again, is Silent Mode Maker, Artist, and Lego Enthusiast. And you'll be pleased to know that this is going to be the last part of the, or at least for the time being, of the GoBricks part sorting, where I've got these bags from GoBricks and I'm going to sort, going to sort very cursorily, if that's a word, through them, at least until the next batch arrives. And there are 3 bags. I intend to get through them all today, or all in this live stream. And I'm doing so because I'm not feeling too well right now. I think I may be coming down with the latest edition of the Wuhan special. Whether it's related to the contents of these bags, I have no idea. It could come from anywhere, but if you happen to be watching right now, as usual, thank you very much. I appreciate it. And again, I'm on right now, partly because I want to get this out the way, but also because I haven't seen anybody else going live at the moment. I printed these new containers, some slightly larger ones, so I don't have to empty them as much. As a matter of fact, let me bring the camera out a little bit so you can see a little bit more. Got some regular tea here with almond milk, just for something to wet the palettes. And here we go. Anyway, for those who are listening right now, whether you're engaging or not, I hope you're doing all right, and certainly better than I am. Had a good evening yesterday, going out to eat with some people. We had some, in quotes, Austrian German cuisine. Reminded me of my time in Germany, specifically Munich. And whenever I've gone to Germany, I made sure to have what you could argue is typical German cuisine, very substantial. But I went a little bit lighter this time because I've already had way too much to eat this week, in the last week. But yeah, that was good. It was time away from sitting in front of the computer. And it's going to be a rather intense week starting tomorrow. I've got a couple of things on tomorrow and a few more things later in the week. I do it to myself, in all honesty. But as I used to say, it's better to be busy than bored. I can already see there are quite a few broken parts here. But in comparison to the remaining pretty good parts, it's nothing really. So yeah, just sorting plates, tiles, and parts that I deem interesting. There's an old school window piece. Wonder what that goes in. Owen. You could say that, Owen. Oh, I should probably have the chat. Yeah, I probably do have the GoBricks virus. Hopefully it's not fatal though. But hope you're doing all right, Owen. I have done really well in terms of illness, but I guess it's my time now, so I got to take things relatively easy. You know what? I did have a theory about things that are being shipped from China. Obviously, this is where this comes from. Whether or not I'd actually be getting the Chinese air, whatever that means. Whether they have actually cleaned the parts which I don't think they have because there's still some dirt and debris on these. If whoever's packing these things had some illness that day, it may have translated or affected these parts. For some strange reason, though, I didn't really have that concern with these, but these more than anything, I probably should be concerned about. So I guess for anybody interested in doing something similar, it's probably a good idea, as you would with regular Lego pieces, to wash them first, or at least put them in an enclosed environment for a short time before sorting through them and playing with them. Whoa. I won't put that comment on the screen, but that's very generous of the residential manager. There's a very nice gesture, and hopefully you at least thank them for it. A similar thing happened way back in the day, and it was basically, I would say it was the bank's fault, because I was setting up a bank transfer, and because of the crappy website that the bank had, I'm not going to say which one, but it rhymes with that waste or that pest. Because of the crappy website that they had, I made a mistake with the account number that the money was sent to, and they misinterpreted the account number, so the money ended up being sent somewhere else. And I wasn't happy about it because I didn't have much money at the time, and my mom ended up giving me the money back, which she didn't have to do, but that was a nice gesture. It certainly beats being laughed at about it, I can say that much. We've got a brown joint piece this time. It's good to see that these are being produced in different colors. And just like that, we're almost at the end of this bag. But yeah, with this out the way, I can focus on other things this weekend and for the rest of the week. Although I do have another AliExpress order coming soon. I think it's going to arrive tomorrow. Or at least they're going to attempt to send it tomorrow. Okay. That is cool. I'm pretty sure you'll get to working on a short to showcase what you've done. I will, of course, be watching. All right, let's put these parts away in this bag. I think I'm just going to put all these spare parts in one bag. There's no real need to have them in separate bags. So quite a few broken bits in that particular bag. But I came across these interesting pieces, a couple more of those white shields, just one of these double-sided plates. We've got a bright yellow cat. We've got another sand blue mouse and this old school glass for a window frame. I'm not even sure why they would have something like that, but who knows? Right, so Owen, you are required to get at least 500 subscribers before the end of May. I'm issuing that challenge right now. You've got 92 subs right now. With the trajectory that you're on, I expect 500 by the end of May. I just plucked that out of thin air. This one is more on the Technic side, I guess, but we'll see what we come across here. I was thinking maybe try to sell these GoBricks Technic parts because I probably won't have any use for them. Or even better, you can clip the bit of this live stream where I've issued that challenge, and so you can hold me to it. I, on the other hand, am still looking to get 2,000 subscribers, not because I really want it, but because I really want it. No, it's just one of those milestones that has been incredibly hard to reach. And just when I think I'm getting closer, the momentum stops. But hopefully this year, I'll break the, I guess it's now a 6-year stagnation and finally get to 2,000. It should be possible, Owen. And how are you doing, Odelay, aka Zero Delay? You bought a fake Ninjago minifigure. Was that on purpose, or was that the result of being scammed? I wonder. There are people who will pass off third-party Chinese alternative, whatever you want to call them, figures as Lego. I experienced that once or twice, but if that was your intention, then that's okay. If not, then that's not okay. Okay, it was on purpose. That's perfectly fine then. That's all good. Yeah. There's a thought. It's not a concern, but a thought. And I have actually done that with some of the more, in quotes, acceptable third-party parts, where Lego doesn't actually make the parts that I need to create a character. I have gone elsewhere. I think one of the challenges with the alternative things is the price and where they're located for shipping can be quite price prohibitive or cost prohibitive. Got this nice gold piece here. There's a couple of them. Very nice. Would I use them? I have no idea. Yes, and thank you, Zero Delay. They seem to be some of the more successful shorts that I posted. I decided to stop at 6 though because they correspond to the family stripe colors. Didn't really think there was much of a point of doing more. I do have potentially one more to do though, so look out for that one. And we have Mayo Hosco, Streamers for Life indeed. How you doing, sir? Hope you're doing all right. But yeah, those were pretty fun to do. They were very quick to produce. And I'm glad that I've done something relatively successful. Got some more magic wands here. I've got quite a few of these orange magic wands. If I had my UV lights, I could see whether they're UV reactive. I don't think they are. I'll just put them over there with the rest. Right now it is 1:41 in the afternoon, and I only got out of bed maybe an hour ago because I'm not feeling too good. But good morning wherever you are in the world, if it's morning. Good evening wherever you are in the world, if it's the evening. In any case, thank you for joining me. This bag is particularly Technic heavy, as I suspected. There's quite a few of these bricks though. Kind of reminiscent of Nexonites. Okay, Owen is going to go to sleep. I guess he hasn't yet broken the nocturnal cycle. But thanks for stopping by, Owen. I will see you soon. Yeah, so today we're doing the last of the GoBricks batch that arrived a couple of days ago. And as I said earlier, I do have another order arriving sometime this week, most likely tomorrow or Tuesday. And I think as is customary, it is from AliExpress, by the way. As is customary, I'm going to show you guys what I've ordered. And it's all with the aim of taking on and potentially completing some new projects. You know, I never actually thought of that, but Owen could certainly be a hamster. An anthropomorphic hamster. Who would have thought? Another one of these. Nice. I wonder if I'd be able to sell some of these parts. It's obviously advertising that they're not Lego. But especially some of the nicer looking parts, there may be a market for those. I have absolutely no idea. Quite a lot of Technic pins. And these connectors. You could probably make something out of them, but I have absolutely no idea what. But I'm still trying to remember of the acceptable, in quotes, third-party accessory producers, what they were called. There was one that did scooters. I remember that one, but I don't remember the name. If anyone remembers what the name of that company is, let me know. As a matter of fact, this is bothering me. I'm gonna have to look it up. Is it Brick Forge? I think that's the name of it. Yes, that's the one, Brick Forge. Hello there, Tristan. How are you doing, sir? Good to see you again. And as Mayo says, it's 12:15 over in the land of Down Under. So a good 11 hours behind or ahead. Ahead, yeah. Excuse me. I'm doing all right, thanks, Tristan. I may be falling ill, unfortunately. I think it's either the Wuhan special or the GoBricks special, as Owen called it, or just having worked a bit too much this week. But otherwise, I'm taking things relatively easy today. Hope you're doing all right, though. It has really been an intense week for all kinds of things. I've mentioned the web project I've been working on. There's the day job, and there's also some extra work from I don't want to say they're a previous client, but they are a client that I've worked with very loosely over the last few years. There's other things to manage on my end, so it's been quite hectic, but it's all manageable. And as far as being ill, I've been quite lucky actually. I usually get ill during November, December, and I've lasted this long without being ill. So I could use a day off, I guess. Here we are, the final bag in the slots. Move this out the way temporarily. I've got to put these away first. These nice pieces there. Yes, thank you for the good luck wishes. I really appreciate it, and I definitely could use it. So the last bag. Will we find any more minifigure parts? Any more gold or silver? Well, we have an orange ring, believe it or not. I think GoBricks, maybe LumiBricks, Fantasy, they've made a lot more use of this part than Lego has. And they have these in quite a few different colors. It was even in one of the Zuru Max sets that I did. Yeah, Chip was mentioning yesterday in his stream that he's concerned with tax season and it's one of his least favorite times of the year. But it's something that has to be done if you want to keep your head above water. But good luck with that. And finding the new job. Did you have your interviews, by the way? And if so, how did they go? Yeah, this well, we remember this piece from Lord of the Rings, and there was I think it came with one of the collectible minifigures as a wedding ring or something like that. But I haven't seen this in Lego in any other color than chromed gold. But other places do different colors. And you may actually find them on I can't remember what they're called, but one of these things. I just seem to be forgetting what a lot of things are called these days. Even got some googly eyes. Okay. Oh, wow. 16,000 pieces, 780 euros. Now, I wonder, would you attempt to buy them all in one go? That would be a heck of that would be a heck of an order to place. I remember somebody placed an order in one of my stores when I was trying to get rid of a whole bunch of things. And it took me a week to pick everything because I was so disorganized. Well, look at this. We have a minifigure. Unfortunately, the legs are somewhat damaged. Well, very damaged, it looks like. Oh well. Another obviously broken piece. Yeah, there are going to be some pieces naturally that, in relation to this comment, there are naturally going to be some pieces that aren't available or probably don't exist, or they may have been bought already. I guess another hope is that by the time you're able to place such an order, that part will actually exist and be available. Just going to make sure you're not paying too much for those parts though. You have a printed tile. No idea what it says. It's got Chinese characters on it. Okay. Yeah, could have probably used this for V-Day, but I don't know if Lego produces this part in this color. That's quite nice anyway. Maybe combine it with some transparent tiles if they actually exist in these colors. There's that dirty windscreen, very dirty windscreen. So let me see if I can find it. Yeah, for this Ferrari Testarossa, which I basically recolored, Lego doesn't actually, to my knowledge, produce a windscreen of this windscreen in an unpainted or unprinted color. Or they don't produce this part in this color unprinted, so I took a regular one and just removed the paint, which is allowed in my book. it's a rebrickable model. Yeah, got to have price limits on parts because some of these sellers, they have very wild expectations of what things should sell for. But then again, as I usually say, blame the fans, because a seller can list something for whatever price they want. If somebody buys it at that price, then they're encouraging the practice. Or translucent or transparent clip piece. Okay, that's quite big. For I'm guessing you mean 32 by 32 base plates. So there's a total of 24 of them. That is huge. But if you do get it completed, and I'm pretty sure you will, and you're able to transport it all, you'll definitely have a post-worthy creation there. Definitely, if you have one of the bigger creations at an event, you'll get your pictures taken in the fan media and everything. I think if anything, I mean, I haven't committed to anything. I haven't even thought about anything. It may be a good idea to aim to have something for this year's Great Western Brick Show. I don't think I'm going to be doing any events this year, however. Oh, hang on. Let me see. I almost missed this comment from Odelay. How are sets like AliExpress for off-brand figures? I guess it depends what you're after in terms of figures. It can be very iffy, though. I mean, the most I've done is I've ordered the blank minifigures for my own use. They seem to be okay. They can be overpriced if you don't know what you're looking for. In terms of getting specific types of minifigures, um, if you're after the kind of things that Lego doesn't produce, I think it's okay. If you're after similar things that Lego would produce, then perhaps not. I'd say for the time being. I did I took a chance on some random minifigures a while ago. I don't know if you saw that, but basically the figures that I received were nothing like the ones that were advertised. And if you can imagine, I bought two supposedly random lots of 100 figures, and both lots had pretty much exactly the same minifigures in them. Ninjago weapons though, Ninjago figures, you might have some luck. It's definitely worth shopping around, I'd say. Taking a look at some of the listings, reading some of the reviews, and seeing what takes your fancy. All right. May is going to post some stuff on Discord. I know that you post pictures of things that you built. Looking forward to seeing what you've built. And Tristan is doing what I should be doing, which is making progress on some of the things I have been designing and building. I have been designing and building, but not enough designing and building, if you get what I mean. And yeah, no promises, but I may make a visit to the Lego store, one of the Lego stores this week. I've heard that they've introduced the Smart Brick, everybody's favorite new addition for this year. And I'm guessing that they're going to be heavily featured in the stores. Not quite looking forward to that, but if you're going to visit a Lego store, then it's unavoidable. Oh, speaking of Ninjago weapons, you got a red samurai sword. A red sword, anyway. Just happened to have one in there. Let's see. Okay. Give me a second. AliExpress figures for minifigure photography. Somebody suggested a while ago that they may be useful for background figures. I think especially if you get the kind of minifigures that you want, I think that's a pretty good idea. I will say though, it's no fun having a genuine Lego minifigure take damage. This is actually rather convincing as something that could pass as Lego, I would say. Except the plastic is somewhat different, and people who are very knowledgeable would probably be able to tell that it's not actually Lego just by looking at it. That's a nice pink color there. It's somewhere between the recent bright pink and the vibrant coral. That's a rather nice hue of pink. You've got a translucent yellow ice cream thingy. Guess you could call it a sorbet. Ooh. Yeah, some of my minifigures are starting to show signs of age, and especially the less common ones. Let me see if I can find an example. Yeah, this is a good example. This is Val, and you can see that the torso has started to crack there. And I believe this torso is from the Superman theme. This is actually Lois Lane's torso. Maybe I won't have to have it for that much longer, but I'd be rather concerned if it does break beyond repair, being able to replace it. So I guess that particular version is going to be ornamental now. Otherwise, I've got to be very careful. There we go. Ooh, damaged tile. Hello there, Liam. Forever bricking the bed. How are you doing? Almost at the end of the third and final bag in the slots. This is a very nice green color. I'd say it's somewhere between lime and yellowish green. I think perhaps something darker. If Lego introduced this color, that would be great. It doesn't quite show up on camera, but it's a very nice color. Whoops. Another red katana. It's not damaged. We got, thank you, Liam. The smoothest voice in the YouTube Lego building game. I will take that. Thank you very much. Got another one of these slopes with a stud on it. I almost want to say I invented this piece, but this is a GoBricks staple, so I'm just happy that somebody's actually producing them. All right. Just a few more pieces. Got a couple more minifigure arms. I don't think they will actually fit anything. Another transparent Technic pin, which I think is really nice. I may have to go back and, off camera of course, but go back and sort through everything else to find these Technic pins. But overall, again, as a reminder, I'm not sponsored or affiliated with GoBricks yet. But I would certainly recommend these if you're at least open to using alternative parts and there are particular things that you really could use in certain colors. Certainly recommend the random bags if you are open to receiving just about anything, if you want to discover what these alternative brands have. And I will try my hardest not to buy any more because I haven't used the ones that I have. And yes, if you like what you see here and you're interested in more, feel free. Oh, that's not the one I wanted to highlight. No offense. If you happen to like what you've seen, hit the like button on this and whichever other videos you like, and consider subscribing for more. It is all motivation and it is all appreciated. All right, so I'm done sorting through everything. And in total, I bought about 3 kilos of GoBricks parts. I've put these aside as interesting pieces. I got a whole bag of tiles. This is the ones I got in this lot and some others. A whole bunch of plates as well. And there's a few broken pieces, which is a given. That is the general idea, though. Some of these pieces will be broken because they're discarded from the factory, but they could still have some use, I would suggest. Tristan asks, does anyone here have an idea of how to get 1x2 trans light blue tiles for water for less than 5 cents a piece? You could be very lucky and find a seller on the other sites that will sell them to you in bulk. But the best bet is Liam says theft. That's what you call the 5-finger discount. Not that I know anything about that. The best bet is to be very lucky and find them on a pad wall somewhere in one of the Lego stores. They do appear occasionally. I believe they appear occasionally anyway. But they're by far the easiest and most convenient way to get hold of them. You may be able to ask somebody who lives near a store that has them on the wall to get some for you. I probably wouldn't recommend buying them on eBay or somewhere else because you'll be charged a premium for them. There is another way. I'm probably not supposed to mention it because I think that's one of the conditions. But if you happen to be a member of a user group, a registered user group, you may be able to get hold of them, although you may have to wait a while. But 5 cents for 1x2 tiles. I guess bearing in mind the color, that's probably a reasonable price for them. Maybe. Anyway, we can salvage the torso and the head on this figure, but the legs are pretty much gone. So I'll put them in with the remaining minifigure pieces. Oh yeah, after shipping, the shipping costs would pretty much negate any savings you'd make if it's 2-3 cents less, I'd suggest. How many would you think of getting? How many tiles would you think of getting? And again, this minifigure, and I was very fortunate to have a complete minifigure from all the pieces, is one of the standouts of this particular lot. I think this could fairly easily fit within a Lego environment. So we have, not including the torso that we got from the last bag, we have about 13 figures in this lot. Oh, 5 to 7,000 tiles. Yeah, I would certainly look at getting them from a pad wall. I don't know which theme this minifigure is from, but this is obviously a GoBricks figure. So I'm guessing the set that it came in is Japanese themed. Pretty much all the figures that I got in this lot were Japanese themed, different kinds of kimonos, etc. But yeah, I do like this figure. All right, just a couple minutes more. I'm going to put these plates, and I've got some more parts away, and then I'll give you guys your time back. And I'd imagine, Tristan, it's not just the tiles that you'd be after. You probably want some small plates, perhaps some bigger plates to be able to cover the entire area and to provide the illusion of different depths of water. But I think the plates will probably take care of themselves. It's the tiles that you'd be after. You could also use dark blue ones as well. So trans dark blue tiles. All right. All these plates and more. And that is it. One last bit of good news is that I managed to sell the half spheres I got from the vending machine. These are the genuine Lego ones. So somebody bought one of each a while ago, and I had an order for the rest of these just last night. So somebody's going to be very happy with these, I guess. I'm on the lookout for some transparent ones. Not even AliExpress sells them at the moment. Would be nice to have some transparent ones. But in any case, that concludes going through all the lots, all the bags in the most recent GoBricks lots. And that is going to be it for this live stream. I want to thank everybody for joining in and making this one a good one. I'll be back at some point in the near future with some other shenanigans, hopefully building something. But I do have at least one order coming in this week, so you'll get to see what I've ordered. So in the meantime, and until next time, this has been Silent Mode, maker, artist, and Lego enthusiast. As always, encouraging you all to do your thing.